level. So we are living in a remote world, and very quickly, if somebody wants to learn how to have a substantial income, they're going to need to learn how to have that income remote. So I think that's the context, for the conversation that, we're going to have tonight, to really talk about Powur's platform. And, our sort of message is like incredibly simple at this point, right? I mean, we have possibly the most perfect remote professional opportunity existing in the world today that anyone can plug into. Of course, if you live in one of our markets and you can sell, to customers in one of our markets. I'm sorry if you're from Australia or somewhere else, but if you're in a Powur market, this is probably, I'd go out on a limb and say this. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm thinking about remote work opportunities. I'm thinking Airbnb, not so hot right now. Uber, not very good. You could risk your life every day to deliver groceries to people on Instacart. I don't think that's going super well at the moment. I think they all went on strike today. And they get paid like, $8 an hour or whatever it is. So, in really looking at professional remote opportunities, I think you're looking at it, folks. We have a platform that is selling in 20 different states right now, 20 different states. The future of energy, the most common sense, no-brainer value proposition in the world. Who doesn't want cheaper energy? Who doesn't want to save tens of thousands of dollars on electricity costs? Who doesn't want to reduce their carbon footprint and make a difference in the world? Who doesn't want to increase the value of their home by 5 to 10%? Who doesn't want to, who doesn't want all those things? And who doesn't want to pay nothing out of pocket to do any of it? Sign a document, done. You get all that value. So this is the future of energy. If you can see into the future, you can already see that the era of giant utilities and coal power plants, it's gone. It's already fossils. The fossils are back in the ground. That's fossilized. That's old school. That's the dinosaur age. This is the future. So if we can bring that product to 90 million homes right now, if we can pay commissions that are on par with the real estate industry, realtors, we're talking about, $5,000, $10,000 per home that you switch to solar energy. If we can let you do that from the comfort of your own home without ever needing to leave your freaking house, if we can give you all the training that you need, from sales training to product training to technology training to whatever it might be, and including mentorship. So we actually mentor you, do it with you, let you study with the very best on the platform today. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Like, this is a no-brainer. As long as, you really believe all these things and you believe that solar is the future and it aligns with what you're looking for, you're not going to find anything better than Powur right now. You're just not. I said this in our newsletter today. Don't let other people's recession reality be yours, because it is obvious that massive impacts are happening on our economy right now. They're just beginning. Millions and millions of people every week are going to be filing for unemployment for the foreseeable future. We are probably heading into a pretty big recession, but when we ran our pay period last week, it didn't look like a recession. So many new names I've never even seen making $5,000 to $10,000 in a single day because they sold a system. People who sold 2 or 3 systems, are making monthly incomes in a day or a week or whatever it is. And that is the reality that I invite you to see for yourself. It's work, it's hustle. Nothing in life is free, right? You got to go out there and learn the game and play it. But man, people are crushing it right now. And with Powur being officially classified again today, the federal government updated their statutes. And this is really critical. The federal government updated the statutes today around what classifies an essential business. And they expanded those previous statutes to include everything renewable energy related, including anyone who works for a renewable energy company. So if you're in the renewable energy industry and you're critical to the facilitation of renewable energy, you are now classified as an essential worker, meaning we are an essential business, meaning we continue to operate through whatever, the future is going to look like with these shelter at home mandates and many non-essential businesses being shut down around the country for the foreseeable future. This could last 2 months, 3 months. So this is all really good news for you on the line tonight. If this is the first time you're witnessing Powur, this is all really good news. We're super glad you're here. We absolutely have a solution for you. We have a solution that is working. We have a solution that is satisfying, purposeful, meaningful, rewarding, lucrative, and just truly, one of the greatest professional remote opportunities probably in the world today. But the company has just been on an absolute tear. Really record-breaking growth inside the solar industry, 400-500% year-over-year growth, and that's evident really in the success that many of our consultants who are on the line tonight, are experiencing and having, and the lifestyle changes that have taken place, and the stories that we're sharing and telling, and it's all really good and really exciting. And it tells us that this model that we're about to show you, this model is the real deal. This is a business model innovation. This is not any business model that has ever existed inside of solar energy before. And it's really important that you understand the power of a business model innovation. Uber didn't invent cars, and Uber did not invent mobile apps. They didn't invent either of those things. The only thing Uber invented was a business model innovation that connected a driver with a rider, and a really cool user interface that unlocked that value. And boom, next thing you know, there was such a thing called ride sharing. And so Powur has really invented a new business model for solar energy. And, the premise, the concept of it is incredibly simple. It's, look, we're going to give you the wholesale value of selling a solar system. Whatever the value that exists in that, we're pretty much going to give it to you. We're going to be more generous in our commissions than any solar company in the history of the world has ever done. And just like, Costco has done that with wholesale. And if you study the financials of Costco, if you really look at the financials, they don't make any money when they sell you stuff. They make margin, but that margin just pays for all the costs of the business. It pays for employees and warehouses and shipping and logistics, and it pays for the cost. But if you look at Costco's actual net profit, it literally mirrors, almost identical to their annual membership revenue. So basically, the annual membership at Costco is what's funding wholesale discounts. They're saying, hey, we're going to give you a wholesale discount on this giant bag of chips, and you're going to be able to get more chips for less money than anywhere else. And the way that we're going to fund that is through this membership. We're pretty much doing the exact same thing in solar. So we're telling you, look, we're going to give you the biggest commissions in the industry. In the industry, you cannot find a bigger commission as an individual anywhere in the industry. And the way that we're going to fund that is a membership model. So what that's allowed us to do is, we have just exponentially grown the amount that we're paying people. I think if you were part of Powur 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, actually Gilberto remembers, literally 3 or 4 years ago, back in 2016, it was like $600 a project. That's what we got paid when we sold the project. We didn't have to sell it at the time. We were generating a lead, but then it went to like $1,800 a project, and now the average commission is $6,000 a project. The average commission. And of course, people are earning less than that, and people are earning way more than that. We have people earn $15,000 sometimes in one project. We've had somebody earn $18,000 on one project, one normal home, just a person who used a ton of energy and needed a big solar system, and they made 18 grand on that one project. So, this is the real deal. I really look at the model that we've created here, and I I liken it to almost like a new form of real estate. You know, this is like like imagine if you could have got in at the beginning of the real estate industry. Well, guess what? There are 90 million open vacant properties right now. It's called rooftop real estate. And if you go out there and you own that rooftop real estate by putting a solar panel up there, that's your real estate. You own it now. And that's worth, you know, $6,000 to $8,000 today. And guess what? Those customers are going to be coming back in a couple years because they all use more energy. Every time someone goes solar, they use more energy because they don't have a utility bill anymore. They stop thinking about it. So they think, well, what the heck? I'm just going to get an electric car. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they're going to be calling you up and they're going to be saying, I need an upsell on my system because I'm, you know, using an extra 4,000 or 5,000 kilowatt hours a year. That is the norm across the whole industry. And there's so many other upsells coming into this marketplace as well. The whole, you know, IoT, Internet of Things, and the electrification of the home, and really Powur's positioning ourselves to be the professional sales platform for this whole line of products that's coming to sell into the home. And it all has started with solar, and it's really lucrative if you do it right. So, and we're here to train you. We're here to teach you how to do it right. And we're here to pair you with mentors that are doing it right. So you really learn. And that's the secret sauce. You know, everything that we're saying is all fine and dandy, but, you know, really to me, the secret sauce is our mentorship program. And it's, you know, once you make the decision and commit to say, you know what, I want to be a solar pro. I want to take advantage of this industry. This is the future. I see where this is going. I see the trends of the world. I want to be a six-figure or multi-six-figure professional in this industry. We're going to pair you with a mentor, and you're going to shadow and train under the best people on this platform who are out there selling projects all day, every day. And that's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to learn how to sell. It's how you're going to learn how to present a proposal. It's how you're going to learn the whole thing. And we've created a very lucrative way for you to learn. It's very simple. Whatever the commission is, you split it 50-50 with your mentor. And we have a requirement. Your first 3 projects on the platform, you do with a mentor. Once you've done 3 projects on the platform, now you're free to sell all your own projects. So that's how it works.
So, Jonathan, I always like to check off the boxes for the future consultants that are on here tonight. So you put together a board of directors. It's raised billions in venture capital. I know they're a great sense of guidance for you, and you probably guide them a little bit. I know you put a management team together that you're very proud of, and we've all become friends, leaders of all parts of industries. Our installation partners, in case someone's thinking about that, are some of the highest rated installation companies in the United States of America. We have a dozen bilingual project managers to help people and guide them through their projects. Everything is in Spanish and English. We have trainings every day. We have the most robust training there is. So, you know, again, I know this is a unique time for you. You've put all this together. You've put most of the pieces on the checkerboard, and I know that's got to feel great to you. And I know what's really important to you is watching the field leadership. Some of them are on tonight. The Edgardos, you mentioned Luigi, the Williams, the Jose's, the Julios, the Charles Thompsons, who will speak in a few minutes. Watching these people making $10, $30, $40, $50, $70,000 in a month, buying new homes and saving some money and giving their family things they never could have given them before. And there's no debate. If you just have your business cap on, your guest here tonight, and you realize that a platform economy has shifted almost every facet of our lives, from how we communicate on Facebook and LinkedIn to how we get from point A to point B, to travel, to retail. Look at Amazon changing the world every day. There's just no debate about it. And anybody that would argue that or debate that is just a poor business person. So because we've established ourselves as the leader, as an online platform for solar and the future of renewable energy, we find ourselves in a very unique position. After 5 years and $10 million invested, $100,000 a month in software design, just everything that we have going for us as a community. We've built a culture. We have 5,000 people on our Facebook page. So we built a trust, and there's no substitution for trust. So if you understand the economics of the world we're in today, and then before I turn this over to Charles real quick, what we've really learned, and we wish it wasn't so, but because the world is now an online platform, our company Powur has established itself as a place to sell solar online. Some people are still knocking on doors, maintaining social distance and all those things. But you're going to hear next from an expert who has sold 16, last I heard, 16 of his last 17 customers online. That's a commission of $40,000 to $80,000 in a couple weeks. Who wouldn't want that, right? From the comfort of his multiple homes and having a blast. So if you believe in a better future, if you understand this moment in time that we're in right now, because in Powur we do two things. We sell solar, and then we look for other motivated entrepreneurs that want to sell solar. The talent pool of people right now that are home, nervous, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, landscapers, everybody doesn't know what it's going to look like in 30, 60, 90 days. If you bring them Powur in an elegant fashion, they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And if they are, you can build an extraordinary, not only a personal income, but a passive income. So Charles, to wrap this up, is a 20-year energy veteran. He's built companies, owned companies, ran companies. He's a dad. He's military. I'm on the corporate side. Charles, 100% in the field. And Charles has the biggest team in all Powur. And not only is he teaching people how to build a team, but he's teaching people how to sell solar, building the largest income in the company, and also building a passive income, because the team he's building, when they sell, he already has a six-figure passive income, whether he works or not. So to be able to do what he's doing online, safe in these times, teach others how to do the same, is rewarding him in extraordinary ways. He's become certainly one of my best friends on the planet. So we'll let Charles take it home for a moment, and then we hope that all of you will take 5 minutes when we're done and just enroll in Powur, be a part of what we're doing. You have nothing to lose. This is less than your cable television bill. To not engage here, it just doesn't make any sense to me. How often do these things come around? How often can you find a company 5 years, 10 million in, that no one's heard of, that is supported by the largest companies in the world? Charles and I just got off a tour. We were sponsored on that tour by a $160 billion company and the largest loan company in the United States for solar. So everybody's buying into our model, and I think you should too. With that, Charles, you want to take it home, brother?
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Absolutely. I'll kill in a couple of areas that you and Jonathan didn't go. And obviously we talked quite a bit about the money. Just look at this simple, folks. You get access to wholesale and you sell at retail. You keep 70% of that margin. Powur keeps 30. From their 30, they give half of it back to us that want to refer other people to use the platform. You have incredible tools that you can do directly from your desktop, your laptop, your tablet, whatever it might be, where you can actually get a pre-designed system for your homeowner. You determine which panels, with their assistance, which ones they don't want to keep in their home. You determine the margin. It's completely at your disposal. All of the options that are available, and you'll learn about these through the mentorship program that Jonathan touched on. You get fully transparent pricing. Like anything I've ever seen in this industry, you get full access to the wholesale cost with zero markup, access to the best financing that the institution has, and then you market at what the market will bear. You keep 70%, as I mentioned. Then you start referring people to use the platform. It's very simple. It's not a recruiting ploy. It's not, you have to train them, mentor them, lead them. You just recruit them to use a platform, or refer them to use a platform. And when you do, you get 20% of the revenue that Powur has. I said half of Powur's revenue is given back to us. That's a part of how it's given back to us. And because of that, some of these people are going to do the same thing. They're just going to refer other people to use the platform. And when they do, you get leveraged revenue sharing down into 6 levels or tiers or generations or whatever terms you want to use. And the economics break out very simply. On the people you directly refer to use the platform, you're going to get 20% of the revenue Powur took in, an average of $600. They refer somebody to use a platform, they're going to get an override, you're going to override that success down 6 generations. Very similar to a number of comp plans like EXP, Keller Williams, all of the different insurance companies and real estate companies, Prudential, Aflac. They have a very similar tiered compensation model, but this is where you get the passive income. Jonathan spoke a little bit about the mentorship program, which is really the keys to our success. You're tapping into somebody who has the knowledge to help you not only enroll people in solar, but train you how to use the platform and make that a career pathway. So you have 3 career pathways, income-wise. You have your active income, that's whatever you sell, and that's what we do. We sell solar. You have your passive income, that's when you refer somebody to use the platform. And then you have your mentorship income. Each of those individuals are 6-figure income pathways. Then Powur took it another level. When I looked at this, I said, well, Powur wants us to be an owner in the company. Why would you sell for anyone else when you can have equity in the company? Your first install, you get 100 options. You refer somebody to use the platform, they get 100 options. You get 50 options when they get theirs. Then all you do is set some pretty basic minimum performance goals. 2 installs a month, that's 1,000 options. 1 install a week with a 2-week vacation, that's 5,000 options. And since you're with us before we go IPO, and this is a very uncertain time, right? The market is going to shift. We will be poised fantastically, in my opinion, I'm not a stock advisor, that the value of those options to what they could convert to could be 600, 700, 800 times what that option price could be. That's where you can get the generational changing wealth into your family by leveraging that. The training, you've heard sound bites about that. You tap into a 1.5-hour course, you take a test, you go through live daily coaching, you tap into wherever you want to. You can be in your pajamas at home, which most of us are right now. You can do that without the worries of having how you present or anything like that. Then you get a lead in the system, select a mentor, and then just keep going through training as you learn. It's paid training, better than anything that you'll find in the market today. Every single day we have some form of training, Monday through Friday. Tap into those training sessions. We are recently, Bobby stepped up a major training course on how to team build online. I've stepped up a course on how to sell online. So we're shifting the communications as we do. You have access to every single bit of that through the Powur resources section in Powur. All this is at no cost. It's part of what we do. Jonathan mentioned that we can sell in 20 states. The margins are fantastic in California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, and Florida. We're now general contractor where our margins are even better than those states, California, Texas, and next week, Florida. And all these other states you can sell. Our margins are as good or better than any company that is out there today. But as we grow in those markets and we drive those costs down, we drive the labor costs down, we get better buying power, each of us gets 70% of that benefit. Nothing like it out there. With that, the recap would be the compensation plan is brilliant. It's a 70-30 rev split over that cost of goods that we mentioned. You get 6-level revenue sharing should you desire to refer people to use a platform or team build, or organization build. Totally up to you. You don't have to do those things. And the equity ownership is really kind of the icing on the cake, for lack of better words. With most companies that you would go to, if you had something like this, it would be almost like a franchise. You'd have a license. In this case, you work under our license, Powur's license. The only states that you're required any special licenses are California, Connecticut, and Illinois, because they want background checks and things like that. Otherwise, you operate under Powur's license. So you don't have to go file for a business license. You have a $99 one-time onboarding fee. And since we're getting 85% of the revenue that the company takes in, that's 70% the person who sells and half of the other 30% Powur takes, we get as team builders. We pay for that. We contribute to make that technology even more game-changing than it is today. So I just look at this personally, I say a year down the road or less, we have 10,000 consultants contributing to our technology cost, what that technology is going to look like then. Right now, it blows away companies that I've worked with. I ran 2 companies, $14 billion company, a $17 billion company. They raved about their technology. I look at Powur and there's pales in comparison to what we already do. I can only imagine what the future is going to bring for us today. So with that, if you're listening to the recording, get back to the person who referred you today. Get final questions answered, jump on board. There's no better time. This is a business in a box, but a business from home. I'm sitting in my home, Bobby's sitting in his home. You saw Jonathan, we're all at home. We can help enroll customers. Bobby's stats that he reached 16 out of 18, it's 17 out of 19 now. That done from home. Didn't have to be in anyone's home. And you have all the tools, all the training. You can tap into the resources that we have and turn your career to a whole new level. So get back to the person who referred you, get your questions answered, and join us.